for lengthy speeches. So I just want to reassure you all, honestly, please don't worry. I've been in a couple of comfort breaks. And I'll have you all home for coronation. So as I prepare to be cast away from the comfort of my little rabbit hutch that is also known as room 314, I thought what better way than to pull together my own version of Desert Island Discs.
Technology. I pressed it, Jeremy.
I'm going to treat you all to a selection of tunes to go with my reflections of an absolutely cracking career that I've been so privileged to have had. So there's definitely a musical theme running through my exit from my Jexit from County Durham.
Sorry, Julie. So, and actually, I wish someone had told us my mother was coming because I'm going to have to edit all that. How many people get the opportunity in their career to create a brand new service from scratch? Literally a blank sheet of paper, just a few germs of an idea, grown out of our children's trust arrangement. And some of them, I'm not ashamed to say, nicked from a time in the youth offending service, where integrated working just made complete sense to me. All agencies retaining their own professional identity and specialisms, but working together in a single service to get it right for children. And what's not to love about that? Well, actually, we got told what wasn't to love about that. Very many times. And I remember feeling really shocked when I realised not everyone thought it was a really good idea. Well, quite a lot of people didn't think it was a good idea, actually. But were we, Carol Payne, going to let them stop us? Absolutely no way. And it took sheer determination to another level altogether to get that service off the ground, but we did, and the 1 Point service has stood the test of time. It's focused on providing early help for vulnerable children and families, its commitment to partnership working, and the simply outstanding and fantastic practitioners and managers, now led by the fabulous Karen Davison and Pam and Judith and Alison and Fiona. The 1 Point service, as Margaret's already said, is without a doubt my proudest achievement, and I also think it's my finest hour. It's all relatively, notice I say relatively, it's all relatively calm and lovely. But back in the day, my first track is a song that reflects most what it was really like in those early days. Okay, so what do you do when you've literally half killed yourself setting up a service, when you start working even harder to, let's just say, reshape it? It was 2012 and the impact of the policy austerity was really beginning to bite. And I'll never forget the day Carol called us into our office and said, "Julie, can you find us a couple of million quid's worth of savings?" And that wasn't the only time she said that. She said it quite a few times actually, and the last time I totted it up it was about £6 million worth of times. You're welcome, Margaret. So amongst many other efficiencies, along came the Children's Centre review with Fiona and the Youth Service review with Helen. And the very many curly finger summonses to Rachel Shimon's office, or even worse, Peter Rappleton's office. When we invariably cocked up the Constitution or upset the opposition party locally. We did that a few times as well. But my God, can our boss a project plan now? And I've done that many restructures, I probably could set myself up in a career in HR. The learning has been absolutely immense along the way, and most of what I did, I truly believe, has led to better services, more focused on identifying those vulnerable children and young people who need our help the most. I do obviously worry about the ongoing pressure of the cuts and what lies ahead for you all, because for sure all the slack has now been sluck. And I definitely don't want to be around when we get asked to dig out the next millions and do another restructure. But if there's one thing I hope for more than anything else, it's that the 1 Point survives and sees it through to better times, because I do think they're coming.
So it's a bit obvious, but I chose this for my second track. Okay, so talked about necessary evils, I can't not mention the very many inspections I've had the deep joy of experiencing. You never could hope to meet a more warm and welcoming set of humans than those that become inspectors now, could you? They truly are charm personified. The words deficit model springs to mind, although they do tell us the culture is changing, and I do think we saw a glimmer of that recently in the most recent inspection that have been here. But I think quite a few of us are still recovering from the trauma of the 2016 inspection. But the drive across the service since then, the clear focus on children and getting it right for them, the absolute determination to improve our services and make them outstanding for children and families has quite simply been breathtaking over these past few years. But you know, as hard as life gets when they come, I do think inspectors are a necessary evil. There's just something about that constant back of the mind, knife at your back, inspection threat, that I really do believe impacts on how we have been able to maintain the incredible pace of and focus on improvement as constantly and as consistently as we have. So I thought this third track quite summed that up. So one of the things I've loved most about my work here has been the partnership working, despite or maybe even because of the rough ride we often get, or should I say the positive constructive multi-agency challenge, as I drag myself out from the very many hedges I've had the pleasure of being dragged through backwards with a smile on my face. But I do know our best work, and definitely some of my best work, has been done when we've been working constructively together with our partners, sharing the improvement journey and being honest with each other, and sometimes that's meant we've had to hear things that we didn't really want to hear. And let's face it, our partners in Durham are definitely not shy in coming forward. But that, I believe, is our absolute strength. And the minute we don't see it as a strength, then we've lost something really special. Someone once said to me, probably when I was having a right old whinge, this is where some of the F words might have come in, man, why do you give them the opportunity to give you feedback? Why are you asking them what they think? Which I just still thought at the time was the oddest thing to say, because if you're genuinely committed to improvement, then you just have to invest in listening, even when that's hard, and also hearing. And that could point to many changes and improvements we've made as a result of being brave enough and committed enough to listen and to learn. So here's my fourth track with a huge thanks to some fabulous partners I've had the absolute deep privilege to have worked with. But the relationships that have really made me tick have been those that I've enjoyed. Enjoyed with my colleagues in children's services. They are quite honestly the most dedicated, hard-working group of professionals you could ever hope to meet, right across the 1 Point service in children's social care. I've had the pleasure of setting up the Aspirant Managers programme with the absolutely brilliant Hazel, a real genuine talent in Hazel over there. And the quality improvement champions and doing the audits with Rachel. And all of that's given me the chance to get to know some amazing practitioners. And I genuinely do admire each and every one of them for the work they do at the front line where it's really at. We're truly fortunate to have a superb team of PAs and business support staff too. And I want to say personally thanks to Rachel, Mel and Tori for being my personal support recently, but also to the Sterling, Jill, Sandra, Alex and Michael too. They're a truly fantastic team and they keep us right. But it's my own SMT, senior management team, that I will probably miss the most. The 1 Pointers, I know they're not mine really, but I don't think I ever fully let go of you. And I will never forget the vision I was treated to last week. Pam Bloomfield, resplendent in pink leotards, and everyone else in the leotards and neck warmers. Now, who else could inspire people to do that? They said it was a one-off performance, but I'm sure they could be persuaded to do it again for a fee or a large charitable donation. But my most recent experience has, of course, been spent with the truly awesome Helen Ferguson and her equally awesome team of Chris, Andrea and Karen Robb. We have worked bloody hard or slot, but my fondest memory of you all will always be Alec, with Rachel and Karen as well, where we got to listen to Andrew Turner for a whole lot. That was great. We got to learn about signs of safety, but way more than that. We got to learn loads about each other. Working relationships have consolidated, but even better than that, true friendships were formed. I genuinely adore and admire you all. Stop it. And it made us stronger. So I'm just going to say now, I implore you all, in amongst the frenetic pace that you all work, please do just to give yourself some Alec time every now and again, because you know it makes sense. So my 5th track is for you all, but especially it's for Karen Robb.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
You can't be buzzing mushy, can you? Say it as it is. And I have to just say a little bit of something about signs of safety, because I absolutely love it. It's such an empowering and respectful way to practice, honouring our families in recent climates who have the most amount of absolute shite to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I had to give it a mention because it's the only way I could think of, despite what came at the beginning, to get another song on my track.
Signs of safety.
Oh, don't be able to listen to that again.
I've been so privileged to have had the benefit of some wonderful managers and people to manage. I've had a few knackers as well, like. I've seen most of them off. Thank you for that one. In my last few years, I've managed some of the very best and most promising talent this council has to offer. Viola Smith and Helen Riddell, who worked and cried with me through those pesky reviews. Me Cheryl, who managed the almost impossible feat of always being 2 steps ahead of me. And I don't have a daughter, but if I had one, I would want it to be just like Cheryl. Aww. Jack with the IO service. There was a lot to learn and went on there, Jack, and you supported me through that time fabulously. And most recently, the fabulous, reflective, most insightful Rachel Harris, who, for me being a non-social worker, totally blagging it in the social work service, definitely kept me right, and I think, Rachel, you helped me to get away with it. And I've most definitely learnt loads from managing you all. So thank you for all you all have given to me. And I also got the chance to experience Margaret's thoughtful and supportive management style, which towards the end of my time here has been an incredibly empowering experience for me, Margaret. I've really genuinely enjoyed getting to know you all, but I think I might have been a little bit too enthusiastic about retiring because it's rubbed off. But I cannot leave here without, in true signs of safety way, totally honouring Carol Payne. She is one of the most visionary and innovative talents I have ever worked with. We were together for the best part of my 18 years in Durham. I'm not looking at you. She made so many good things happen with her skill of taking something really complex, breaking it down, and if not easy, then doable. In all the years I worked with Carol, she saw me at my worst, usually effing and jeffing after having a tantrum, after she sent me into one of her very many lion's dens. Just go and talk to them, Julie, they're really keen to meet you. But she also supported encouraged and motivated me to be my best. In the words of this next song, Carol was always the one who would recognise when a light needed shining on something that I would just feel was hopeless or insurmountable. She turned very many of my cons into cans, and she provided the guidance and encouragement to just keep going. She was, of course, invariably right. The best managers just are. Just as the best managers also become your dearest friends. So track 7 is for everybody I've mentioned in that bit, but especially it's for you, Carol.
If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3.
So looking to the future, I'll never forget the moment that I knew fostering was something I wanted to do, regardless of what Brian wanted to do.
Sounds familiar, bro.
Me and Helen were at a social work conference in London, and we were trying to nick off early. And I would say it was to catch a train, but we were just trying to nick off early. And just as we were, this amazing character absolutely burst onto the stage, and he had me captivated immediately. His own experience of being looked after was harrowing, but out of that came a deep understanding of what children who have probably had the most traumatic experience need, expressed in the most powerful way I have ever heard, and that was me in. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what's to come next in fostering with Brian is going to be absolutely amazing. That person was Lemon Cisse, and he wrote this poem, and I'm going to read it. It encapsulates perfectly what we're about to go and do, but it also, I think, says a lot about the investment that my mum and dad put into me, and I think what me and Brian have given to the boys as well. So I hope you're going to just indulge me while I do this. And the poem's called Invisible Kisses, and it says, if there was ever one whom, when you were sleeping, would wipe your tears when in dreams you were weeping, who would offer you time when others demand, whose love lay more infinite than grains of sand. If there was ever one to whom you could cry, who would gather each tear and blow it dry, who would offer help on the mountains of time, who would stop to let each sunset soothe the jaded mind. If there was ever one to whom when you run, will push back the clouds so you are bathed in sun, who would open arms if you would fall, who would show you everything if you lost it all. If there was ever one who, when you achieve, this is definitely my mum and dad, were there before the dream, and even then they believed, who would clear the air when it's full of loss, who would count love before the cost. If there was ever one who, when you are cold, will summon warm air for your hands to hold, who would make peace in pouring rain, make laughter fall in falling rain. If there was ever one who can offer you this and more, who in keyless rooms can open doors, who in open doors can see open fields, and in open fields see harvest sealed, then see only my face in the reflection of these tides, through the clear water beyond the riverside. All I can send is love in all that this is, a poem and a necklace of invisible kisses. And that is going to be our fostering journey in a nutshell. So I'm just going to say one last thing. My last song, it's absolutely all about what's ahead for me and Brian and my family. Not only to get to foster, but we're going to be grandparents as well. Your improvement journey is going to be amazing. It has been amazing, and I honestly believe that this song is also about what's ahead for children's services. It's been an incredible journey. I've been absolutely privileged to be part of it, and your rewards and mine are just around the corner. So this is for everybody in this room. Over and out.